very warm welcome to you all. Once again, as we are now addressing the transportation industry, but more in line with the carrying of precious cargo. However, it is not only in line with that, but also the fact that they themselves are organized employers from time to time, especially those that are organized. Allow me once more to introduce myself as Dr. Caswell Nkuna of the XiTe Group, as well as the Dr. Caswell Incorporated practices, coming from my office and broadcasting to you in a live stream over various media platforms. We need to just get the house in order, and I need to just clarify that some of the information that is here is under copyright protection. So please just be aware and ensure that you treat the information as information that has been sourced under copyright law. You're welcome to contact us at all times, and we will be able to ensure that we can give you services that will be of the quality and standard that you'd be satisfied with. We also need to ensure that everyone who's joining us has the capability of asking questions. But if you do not have the ability to talk to us via the chat, which we have enabled, and the Q&A section, which we have enabled on Vimeo platform, please send us your email via email, your questions, and we will endeavor to answer them at all times as we go ahead with our live streams. Allow me to bring up onto your screens the presentation as we are going to be having it so that everybody can be on par with all of us. As we have indicated, my name is Dr. Caswell Nkuna of the group, XiTe Group, and we are here to be partnering with you in ensuring that you guys receive services that are of world class. I'm an occupational medical practitioner with vast experience in the field, and we need to be aware of all the necessary information that goes with that. Well, in every situation, long before you do anything, you need to know what you are getting yourself into. And you need to know that if you are dangling a head down, you might be hurt if you fall. That, in simplistic fashion, is called the risk assessment. We have produced other live streams and recordings before that have talked about the risk assessment, not as much in detail as we would love to because of the limitation on time, but you're welcome to view them, understand them, send us questions, and we will be able to respond accordingly. The most important thing that you need to bear in mind is every activity you undertake has risks. Having said that, we are not going to be going into that now. However, we want to be talking to the transportation industry, those that are transporting students from home to school and back from school to home. We want to be addressing those that are going to be transporting varsity students so that at least we can be able to understand what possibilities lie ahead as and when we prepare for us to open schools and or learning institutions. We are rather a bit early, but somebody would actually ask, is it really early? Because the preparation for school opening need to be done long before the day of the reopening. The varsities that are not going to be opening anytime soon does not mean that we shouldn't be looking at ways and means of ensuring that when they open, we are ready for them. You, as the transporting industry, play a major role in that. Hence, we have thought we need to talk to you about some of the facilities and services that we can be able to offer you. As we have alluded, we are coming to you after having gone through the risk assessment exercise earlier. So you're welcome to go back to that. But having done that, You are now having to transport these precious cargoes that you are carrying from one place to another. It is very important to understand that the regulatory framework that is governing how we should respond in the workplace against COVID 19 is not one that is going to be changing soon, since COVID 19 is not going to be going away anytime soon. So, we need to adopt practices that will ensure that we do not find ourselves on the bad side of the law, but also on the other side where our businesses are under threat. In actual fact that COVID 19 is with us is more a business threat than a regulatory threat. I would suggest that you need to ensure that as part of what the regulations are guiding us and saying that you need to screen all your employees on a daily basis, that needs to be the case. And you need to then put policies that cater to no screening, no driving, no ride. Very simply put, if a driver hasn't screened for the day, he's not going to drive. And if a student hasn't screened for the day, he's going to be put out and not have a ride. We need to bear in mind that this is for the safety of all of us. It is for the safety of the children. It is for the reassurance of us as parents. As we send our children to be ferried from A to B, we need to know that they are safe. You need to know all risks so that you can be able to limit the exposure that you might have to those risks. We need to also bear in mind that we request each one to do a self screening, implying that you need to be honest as and when you do the self screenings. You need to be your brother's keeper, or else it will mean that everything is in vain. So, here is how we're supposed to do it as and when we go back to work under the transportation of school children. Home or at home, the parents will screen the child, or the child will screen himself if they are of age enough, because we are going to start with the matriculants. What is going to happen is they will be having access to our app, and they will be entering their information against what they have put previously under registration. The app is secure, so they will be able to ensure that they don't have the information go out besides there where it's supposed to go. So a home and the parents and child are going to be able to access the app, enter their screening information, which is a few questions as well as the temperature. Once they submit on the app, you as a driver or as the transport guys are going to be able to access that information from a mobile app that will be with the driver. It is quite important that we mention here that as a school registers or as a workplace registers, the employees of that workplace, which is the teachers, will register also, and the children will register. You, as a transport organizer or transport provider, you need to be able to be registered as well. This is going to ensure that as and when the student is registering as the last part of the registration, they will be able to select you as the transport provider if they are using your service. They will also be able to select the teacher in whose class they are in, as well as the school where they attend. So, having done all those registrations and the administrative processes accompanying that, by the time the child rocks up to be picked up by you as the transport provider, you will be having all that information and the child will be able to appear. You will then be able to give access to that child to have a ride. You need to ensure that the drivers as well have screened themselves so that they are not at risk of transmitting the virus to the children. Remember, no screen, no drive, no ride. At the school, the children will arrive and they will be also checked against the dashboard reports. We have spoken about that at an earlier session, so we're not going to repeat ourselves. However, it's quite important to understand that the feedback loop, the traveling back home, is also just as important because at the time of traveling back to home, you need to make sure that the access that the children have to others is limited. This is to be able to ensure that the traveling part or the mixing part with others does not have to be done on a daily basis because we have the weekly exposure tool within the app, which tool is to ensure that everyone who has been away from either school or work for more than a day, they have to fill it in or they have to submit that upon return. If the school children or students, as they go back, they go and mingle, they will have to ensure that they are declaring as to how, where, and when they mingled. Is it possible that they might have been exposed? Because if they have been exposed, we need to know so that we can protect them and protect everybody else with them. I need to just indicate to you as we go through this to show you that what we are talking about is the home where the parent and child reside, you as the transport providers and the drivers, the school, and the feedback loop for going back home. At home, they will be able to have the entry of information into the app and they will be able to see the report view. They will also be able to receive SMS immediately as they and when they screen to indicate their status. You yourself would have had the same opportunity to receive the SMS confirmation of your status as and when you were screening yourself, so that you can be able to appear at the master's office or the employer's office as and when they access the dashboard. For you, what is important is that as a child comes into the bus, they will have to be appearing on the list, otherwise, they will not be allowed in. These are recommendations. Screening is done and reporting is done in the app. The app will give a dashboard view that ensures that you have access to all of these. As we have said, parents will have access to the information with regards to their own child, as well as the specific driver that is driving their children. It would depend as well as on many other factors, but it is important to understand that the parents will need to know. You guys, as transport providers, need to know what your passengers are like, as well as the school needing to know what the children are like. So, having said that, this is what the app is going to be providing you. As we have said, the screening, reports, and the use of the app will give you as much information as you possibly can get. It is also important to understand that you will need a mobile device, which is a smart device, or a tablet with internet connectivity. You will then have the ability to access the dashboard. We will give an example of what the dashboards look like. The dashboards have the drill down functionalities so that you can be able to see the list that is coming behind the graph. It is important to understand that you don't necessarily need an infrared thermal scanner, but a temperature thermometer that we have had for many years, the small one that you can be able to use and reuse on yourself and or those that are close to you at home only. You cannot use it for anyone else other than the people you live with, because the people you live with are sharing the very same risk as you. But between individuals, please ensure that you clean it with an alcohol based swab so that you can be able to prevent the transmission of anything from one to the other. In the event that you cannot source it, we will try and source it at a cost to you, but we will ensure that we can get this done. It is important to just indicate that the infrared scanners are good, but they are costly. So we need to be balancing against the costs. Also, it is important to ensure that everyone understand that since this is under the Occupational Health and Safety Act, you as the driver are covered under your employer's subscription. Employee doesn't have to pay for the service. However, should you register as an independent, then you will have to pay. There are costs associated with the services. Here is how the process will unfold after your information has been sent to our information department. You will have to sign up on the secure portal. This is so that you can be linked up with the information that has been provided by your employer. Or if your employer has not provided you with a form where he has asked you to fill in, he himself or herself would have provided us with that information. Upon signing up, you will sign up with an email that is your email, and it will always be that that email will be the primary key in order to access the app. Please ensure that you follow the instructions. We have various video link tools that we have put together, and we will be sharing these in the emails as and when you take up. Employer registration is important as well as employees registration because the two have to be linked. Otherwise, there will be no way of you being associated with a particular employer, and therefore the reporting as well as the dashboard access with drill down functionalities will not be easily accessible. Here is how the look and feel of the portal is. Having said that, we have signed up with your employer. You will have to register over this portal to get confirmatory email confirming registration authentication. You will then gain access, and in there, you will be able to ensure that you can update your information in the forms that will be readily available to you. We have indicated that as and when you do the screening, you will be able to know your status real, live, and in real time. Should it be that you are not well, you will get a message that will indicate please make consultation schedule or go and make an appointment with your doctor, which doctor you would have selected right at the registration or the user uptake. For those doctors that have systems like we have and are listed on the app, you will be able to be directed to their booking page, which page is going to ensure that the information is captured. An appointment is given according to the time and availability of the doctor, and a confirmatory SMS and or email are sent. Various charges may apply for the consultation. However, this is how the scheduling manager looks like. The dashboards, as we have indicated before, they look something like this. You will be able to see the view of pie charts, the numbers. Each number has a definition beneath it as to what it represents. Should you click on that number, you will be able to have a drill down and a list will open to reveal what the number is having. If it is the total screenings, it will reveal the number of people that have screened and their names. It will not reveal any further information other than that which is non-confidential. This is just made to ensure that you can be able to know that if somebody has not screened, which means you need to know their name, and if somebody has screened but they are not well, their list will not be appearing on the numbers. It will be appearing elsewhere as those that have been picked up as unwell. So it is important that all times you ensure that you read and get familiar with the reports. If and when there is a problem, we are readily available to answer these. We are putting various many other training sessions that will ensure that you understand. And as you understand, you'll gain confidence in the use of the tool. Should there be any problems, we are always welcome. You are always welcome to send us a request for clarity. We also have put a reminder tool that ensures that you can link it to your Android or Outlook or iOS, your Apple, to remind you on a daily basis for what you need to do. Moreover, remember that we are a group of companies that deal with many other services. Not only are we dealing with this COVID-19 related services, but we deal with many others. We are able to provide you with services ranging from safety and health to travel to training, digital platforms that would be able to ensure that your workflows are better, ensuring that hygiene and coordination is done in the workplace, bearing in mind that we need to understand that the disinfection and or cleaning are two different processes. We are here to take questions, to give you advice, to ensure that all of you are able to understand as the transport sector where we can be partnering with you. We would like to thank you very much for having joined us on this day and this session to be able to understand that we are in this together. I need to just ensure that everybody is aware that we are here to take questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send them to us and we will be able to respond to them. Once more, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for having come to join us in this session. Thank you and may you be blessed.